Welcome back to the Sundance Media Group podcast channel. Here we are in Reno, Nevada. We've been participating with the IAI conference, which is the International Association of Identification, basically a big forensics conference. And Fox Fury convinced us to drive up and put on our CSI night demonstration, which happened last night, and we'll post some links so you can see some of that fun activity. But we had an interesting visitor join us on site for the event. We had our local ASI drop by and give us a ramp check, which is a fantastic opportunity for us to share with our audience what is a ramp check and what happened.
So ramp check is what the ASIs do to make sure that you're in compliance, that your certificates are up to date, that you're flying under waiver, your waivers or authorizations are up to date. You kind of know what you're doing. They check your aircraft, make sure that your logs are all good and stuff like that. So last night he came up and he was like, oh, hey, I'm with the FAA. Can I see your certificate? Because I'm going to do a ramp check. And I was like, sweet.
So he actually warned you that he was going to do a ramp check?
Well, as he was doing it, yes.
Oh, okay. He was already into it. Got it.
It was already, yeah.
Did he have a badge?
He did. He had his FAA credentials, both of them. And he was like, yep, so if I get to see your certificate. And I was like, yep.
So he had a badge.
He had a badge. He actually had two. He had one for Reno and he had his actual FAA.
Oh, wow, okay.
So he had two, and I got to see both of them. And then he was like, can I see your certificate? And I was like, absolutely. Gave it to him. He took a picture of it, I think, because I was in the middle of something else. He asked a couple of questions, made sure we're flying under our authorization properly, because this is a Lance area.
Okay.
But Lance doesn't work at night, as we've talked about before.
Right, of course.
So when you're trying to do a night CSI scene.
Because a night Lance is non-existent, which means we have to ask for a separate authorization, correct?
So we have a Reno authorization that will last us for a little while longer.
Okay.
Allows us to fly at night, contact the airport, and there we go. So he just made sure all of our paperwork was in order and everything was good to go.
And did he check the aircraft at all?
He did. He made sure that our registration numbers were on the exterior of the aircraft, not where they used to be underneath the batteries and stuff like that. So everything was in compliance. I didn't hear anything else about it. So
I believe he actually checked our other MC contact as well, right?
I believe there was some multiple certification checks, although the other individual was not the RPIC.
You were the gentleman that was responsible.
I was the remote pilot in command.
Right.
But because he saw that I was very busy partaking in flying,
prepping for the actual flight,
he let me finish what I was doing, and then he was like, he was just going to check our other folks out here, and he finally got around to being able to check me. So
fantastic. And overall, it was a fairly straightforward ramp check. How long did you say it took with you?
7 minutes.
Okay. So it's not very long, and and part of their job is to make sure that everyone is flying safely and within the rules and regulations of the FAA. And for all of us, that is really important, because if we're not flying within the regulations, then we're creating bad habits out there in the industry. And ultimately, we want everyone to fly safely and be part of the proper regulations. So
correct. Unlike the folks we ran into the other day that we'll talk about in a later podcast.
In another podcast, yes. In the meantime, thank you so much for dropping by and watching this podcast. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and keep in touch with all of our other activities that we have going on. And
fly safe.
Fly safe. Thanks so much, everyone.